The California National Guard Departmental Video, a story of more than 22,000 men and women serving state and nation. The California National Guard, always ready, always there. No principle is more important to the California National Guard than the readiness of our force. With more than 22,000 soldiers and airmen in our ranks, we're the nation's largest and most frequently deployed National Guard force. Yet our first priority remains state-level disaster response. No state is inundated by a greater number and array of serious natural threats than California. Wildfires, earthquakes, flooding, and landslides are a seemingly constant presence for our residents. And as one of the state's core disaster response agencies, the California National Guard places great emphasis on training and preparedness toward that end.
When everything's falling apart, that's when you really figure out what people are made of and who you can count on. Whether it be a man-made or natural disaster, that's when our training kicks in. We bring federal equipment, resources, and experience to the fight like no other organization can. So when our neighbors, community, and nation need us most, we rise to the occasion.
In their civilian lives, our soldiers and airmen work in diverse and skilled capacities throughout their communities. Their depth of life experience, professional networks, and technical expertise pay great dividends when their communities or the nation call on them in a time of need.
Every day, we're your neighbors, local mechanics, nurses, or police officers. But when duty calls, we leverage our skills as your citizen soldiers and airmen.
With more than 100 armories and 3 large-scale training bases in place across the state, the Guard is organic to California's landscape. The Guard is also part of a broader organization, the California Military Department, in which we work alongside the California State Military Reserve and lead several joint task forces toward a common goal.
We are part of a dynamic team of professionals working together toward a common mission. We play an active role in engaging our local communities, and we stand ready when called upon by our state or nation.
The California National Guard is involved in several initiatives that reflect our deep commitment to the community. The Youth and Community Programs Task Force leverages our service members' unique skills and a military model to facilitate a broad range of programs that offer a level of education and leadership opportunities that many children would not have access to otherwise. The Youth Challenge Academies, the Oakland Military Institute, the California Cadet Corps, and the Star Base Program. All of these active community-based initiatives are aimed at helping California's youth realize their potential.
Each of us is personally invested in what these kids become. There is nothing more rewarding than watching these kids embrace the challenge to reach their potential. There's stepping up so that they have a chance at a bright future. I can't imagine a more fulfilling line of work.
The Counter-Drug Task Force is another element of our commitment to the community. This joint force of soldiers and airmen work to support local law enforcement authorities in their efforts to eradicate the growth, distribution, and sale of illegal drugs, as well as educate our youth on the dangers of their use.
Working alongside local law enforcement, we're able to affect positive change throughout California. We're engaged at the ground level to combat criminal organizations and destructive substances that threaten the future of our children and the communities that we call home.
Another asset unique to the California National Guard are the full-time civil support teams on either end of the state, and the Homeland Emergency Response Force, which is on call to support the state or nation in the event of a domestic emergency or a weapon of mass destruction attack.
No other force has the ability to respond to a chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear disaster or attack like our team can.
Since 9/11, California Guardsmen have deployed more than 38,000 times to countries around the world in support of the global fight against terrorism. Experience translates into readiness, and the experience of our force is at an all-time high.
When our nation needs us, we deploy overseas. With our real-world experiences and our constant training, we fill unique and critical roles on the ground in combat zones, peacekeeping missions, all around the world. The experience that we come home with, it's immeasurable.
Having consistently served in operations abroad in the last decade of war and trained continuously at home, our soldiers and airmen stand confident, competent, and equipped to meet the demands of combat commanders overseas and our governor here in California.
With training and deployments, we are away from our family and careers a lot, but we make that sacrifice willingly so that our children may have the same freedoms as we have.
I wanted to serve more than just my country.
I wanted to serve my community.
And no other organization allows me to do that.
Like the California National Guard.